Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything, and I usually don't sound like this. I got a little bit of laryngitis. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Nine of Pentacles, great way to begin a reading. This is the card of progress. This is the card of someone who is living a successful life, right? There is a need for some sort of confirmation that what we're doing is working. We're looking for the visible sign of progress, something that we can measure, something that we can count, something that we can hold in our hands, to let us know that, hey, okay, my efforts are actually making a difference. Yeah. Let's put this card into some context. Let's see what's going on for you in your life right now. Oh, we got a 6 of Pentacles too, and an Ace, and the Chariot. A 5 of Pentacles. Wow, you got a lot of Earth cards here, and a 7. The 7 of Swords makes me laugh here because it kind of feels like you're doing perfect work, but you're still doubting yourself. You have all this wonderful earth energy, but you're still seeing yourself as like, I didn't do enough, I could have done more. Like, it's not working, right? You're still not believing in yourself fully. Yeah. Path of the Serpent, we have a Queen of Cups, 4 of Wands, Princess of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. There's that confidence. There's that fiery energy at the end, right? Very good. Let's select a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're going to set it right here with our little octopus friend, the 8 of Tentacles. And now we're not going to look at that card until the very end. But it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card is, please put your prediction down in the comments. Now let's take a look around the room here. 1 major arcana energy. We have some fire finally at the end of all of this. We've got a little bit of water. We've got, some air. And we've got a lot of earth energy. A lot of earth, heavy on the earth. So this is a financial or a physical situation for you right now that the cards are focusing on. Spirit is focusing on some sort of practical thing in your life, either your finances or how you make money or the work that you do, like your physical activities. Okay. Now, the 6 of Pentacles is the sign of success. This is like literally what you're doing is paying off. Okay. And I think that you're going to get a physical, tangible result from what you're doing. Okay. Now, you're somebody that likes to have that. You're somebody that needs you need to see something concrete to say, okay, what I've been putting my effort into is working now. It's, I've completed something. I've succeeded at something, right? And I guess this question is kind of asking, or this card is sort of asking the question, how do we define success? What things need to happen? What do we need to see in our world in order to believe that we are successful, that we have succeeded, that we have crossed the finish line, or we have become a successful person, or if we are living our successful life? What does that mean? Is it a certain dollar amount? Is it a certain amount of years doing the work? Is it a certain sort of validation from somebody else outside? Is there something, quantifiable that we look at to say, okay, I've done it, I've made it. And it's kind of, it's in some ways with the material world, it's easy because we can have a number. I want to get down to a certain weight. I want to build my muscles up to a certain circumference, or I want to be able to lift a certain amount of weight, or I want to earn a certain amount of money every year, or I want to have a certain, house, that's a certain price or something, value. But this Nine of Pentacles is sort of asking that question. Well, how do we gauge our life as being successful or not yet successful? Okay. I think in the next few days you're going to be getting some kind of validation or confirmation from the world. This is a Six of Pentacles. It is the sign of material success. It's like you're getting the paycheck. You're hitting the number. You're getting to that goal weight or whatever it is. Like it's going to be a real attainment of that, sort of quantifiable measurement, the metric that you have, your own standard. Okay? The one that you are currently believing in anyway. You're going to reach that. Okay? You're going to get some sort of validation from the world that, okay, you've succeeded at this. Whether this is a career thing or it's something creative or it's a project or something that you're doing, it's kind of like, this is the feeling that we know we've succeeded when, the puzzle has been completed on the table. There's no more empty spots, We know we've succeeded when we can flip the switch and the machine starts running, or when we can turn the key and the engine starts, it roars. Okay, we know we've done it. Right. Now, underneath the surface, I kind of feel like you don't really know when to stop working on something, right? That we have this perfect thing, like this is the classic car that you're restoring in your garage, and now it's absolutely perfect. You start the engine, it purrs, it's beautiful. When do we stop tinkering with it? Okay, you're somebody who kind of always has to do one more last little touch-up, one more last little detail on things, Whether this is for ourselves physically or if it's a project we're working on, it's kind of like, well, if it's just about perfect, but I can just do a little bit more. It's like, well, let me just put 5 more pounds on the weight. And let me just move the goalpost a little bit, right? And I think that's kind of what the Nine of Swords, or the Nine of Pentacles, excuse me, not the Nine of Swords. I'm looking at this 7, which, we're going to get to. But with the Nine of Pentacles, it's kind of like the goalpost keeps moving further and further back. We get our sort of, we get our confirmation, our validation. It's like we've kicked the football through the uprights, and then we kind of think, well, maybe we just push it back 5 yards and we just do it again and see if that works, right? And I think because in the Six of Pentacles here, we don't feel the success of it. We don't feel as if we really, it really matters. It really means anything. Where's the joy, right? This is material success. But where's the pleasure of that? Where's the other water cards? What we see instead is a Seven of Swords. And the outcome that you're looking at is kind of one of, I'm not going to be satisfied with it. There's going to be, this is a card of disharmony. This is the card of like, I should believe something, but there's all these other thoughts that are attacking that belief. We're trying to be that Ace of Swords. We're trying to believe in something. And we have all these other kind of distracting thoughts that say, you're not good enough. It wasn't perfect. You didn't really succeed. Or you succeeded, but it was so small, it's insignificant. It doesn't mean anything, A chimp at a typewriter could have done that, that sort of thing. And that's what the Seven of Swords is. It's that doubt. It's that we're sort of attacking ourselves with our own thoughts. Rather than, what this really should be is a Six of Cups. If this was a perfect world, right, this would be a Six of Cups. Because we achieve something here. And we know that we want to tinker with something. Because that's what we like doing. We like taking a 5. We like to do a little something, something to it and make a 6, right? 5 plus 1, 6. That's what we like to do. And you've done that. It worked. Look at that. It lights up. You've hooked all the wires up. You put the batteries in. You flipped the switch. And the damn thing turned on. It's perfect, right? Rather than this being the Six of Cups, just the pleasure, just the enjoyment, just that euphoria of having done something. You're standing there staring at your handiwork. And it's just like, wow. No, instead of that, you're thinking, that sucked. That wasn't good enough. You're like the painter who paints the masterpiece and then just sort of tears down the canvas and throws it away and says, that was junk. It's garbage. Yeah. And so this is what we're looking at in the future position here. Behind you, we have this Chariot card. This is the Cancer energy. It represents the home. It represents, I feel like you probably traveled around a lot when you were a kid. I feel like you didn't really stay in one place. I don't think you currently live in the country where you were born, right? I feel like there's either one big move in your life or there's a lot of little moves. But I think your home life is very important to you. I think the security and the stability of your home is something that you really try to focus on. This is a devotion in you. This is a loyalty and a commitment. This is a self-control. This is kind of feeling like I'm out here, I'm a warrior. This is my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to do. Well, what happens when the battle's over and the charioteer goes home, parks the chariot, it was rode hard, put away wet, charioteer goes in, takes off the armor, then who are you? Right? Then what is in there? And very often we identify with this work that we're doing, whether this is career, or this is just your vocation, or this is a hobby, or this is a sport, or this is a creative work, or this is a physical fitness kind of regimen. It doesn't matter what the earth energy is. What matters really is that you've identified so closely with this work that we have to ask ourselves, who am I when I take the armor off? Who am I when I take the smock off and the beret and put the paintbrushes down, like we're a French painter. Who are we when we sort of take that role off of us? Yeah, and I think we're finding that out over here with the very vulnerable Queen of Cups here in your general energy. But first of all, I feel like this is it is a commitment that you've made to do this thing, this work, this project. And it takes a lot of discipline to do it. And I think that you really have been working very hard with it for a long time. It's been difficult work. And perhaps you've been in this role for a long time now, and when it's over, when you've kicked the game-winning field goal or whatever. I don't know why I use sports references. I don't watch sports. You've succeeded in this thing. Yeah. But then it's like, I don't want to go home. I don't know. I don't want the game to end. I don't know what I'm going to do now that now that I've completed this project. Well, most of us would go out and celebrate. We'd find the Six of Cups here somewhere. We'd go celebrate. Then we'd go home, rest. And we'd wake up tomorrow and we'd think, okay, now what am I going to do now? Now what am I fired up to do next, Sort of, we're out there training for the next football game. I don't know. I don't watch football, but American football anyway. So, this is somebody that is strongly identified with this winning game that we're kind of unsure what happens next. For one, we're criticizing our performance. That's the Seven of Swords. And this isn't a bad thing, but instead of celebrating with the Six of Cups, you're over here analyzing the footage of your plays. You're looking back at the tape and you're looking at all the things you did wrong. You're finding all the flaws in your technique. Maybe this is a musical performance, right? And you're sort of listening to the recording and you're thinking, oh God, I was off key. I played the wrong note. My tempo was all over the place. My cadence was just, the dynamics were just, you're really criticizing that performance. And I think this is a very good thing because it's allowing you to improve. And the next time you're out there, you're going to be better, And so this is part of that, that Chariot strongly identifying with this and trying to be the very best at it that you can. I think what we have to do, though, is take that armor off and be able to feel the win here. Okay, up above everything, 5 of Pentacles. You're not happy unless there's something to sort of worry about, something to focus on, something to fix. Right? This is something that is in some sort of disarray, and this is you coming in and putting it back into order, fixing it. You're a fixer, right? And the fixer on the physical plane, has to do with material things, but the fixer on an emotional plane, let's say, is what we might call a healer. So I wonder if you could apply some of this fixing energy to our internal world. Okay. So future position, 7 of Swords, a difficulty getting out of that mental energy where we are criticizing our performance. We're poking holes in our game here, poking holes in our technique. It's implied that this is because we want to get better, right? But I kind of feel like this is because we just don't want to go to the celebration party afterwards, for whatever reason. It's like somebody that there's a Christmas party at work, so I can't go. I've still got so much to do here. Are we doing it to avoid something? Are we doing it to avoid trying to feel good about what we've done? Are we doing it to avoid pride, satisfaction? Are we doing it because we're worried that we're going to go and go to the celebration, but we're not going to feel good about what we've done? So we just kind of stay back and we work. And we're hunched over the computer and we're still working away at something. Because it feels like everything is, and maybe this is true, maybe there's so much going on in your life that we don't really feel we have time to sit and celebrate. That there's always some other worry hanging over your head that you've got to fix. Whether this is real or perceived, who knows? Yeah. Let's look at the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Your general energy now becomes a Queen of Cups. There is an emotional reality in you that is screaming at you, begging for you to pay attention to it. This is a card of emotional honesty, emotional transparency, radical self-love. It's kind of saying that, look, your insides want to feel good about your work and what you've accomplished. I think this accomplishment is coming in the next few days. And your emotional self really wants to enjoy it, really wants to celebrate it and feel good about it. Okay? And I feel like that is, that's the alternative here. So maybe we should really take this event, this success that you're going to experience, again, next few days. And instead of criticizing your performance and sort of getting down on yourself and picking apart all your plays and stuff, let's instead try to lift the veil of our emotions and really feel how we feel about it. Not ask ourselves how we feel, because that sort of turns it into an intellectual exercise, But let's just feel. How do we feel about this? And I guess it's difficult not to ask it in the form of a question. It's like a game of Jeopardy. How do we really feel about this success, about the 6 of Pentacles? When we get that validation from the world, what does it make us feel? Because automatically you're picking it apart, you're criticizing it, you're analyzing it. Maybe this is you trying to find the flaws, trying to find the red flags. But how do you feel about this thing? Do you love it? Does it feel good? Do you feel proud of yourself? Do you feel joy, right? Do you feel a sense of confidence and capability? Yeah. And so I feel like this is a time in your life where you're going to have to be very very honest with yourself about how you feel. It could be that you don't feel any, and that could be what we're avoiding. We're sort of, we don't want that realization that I don't feel anything for that Six of Pentacles. It doesn't matter to me. It's just a job, or it's just a, it's just a process. It's just a consequence of my efforts. We're looking at things so logically here that we say, I don't feel anything. It was simply A plus B equals C. 1 plus 1 equals 2, and that was it. And that's what I did. There is no emotion in there. It's pure science, pure logic. But I think if that's our attitude, here we have a Four of Wands. We're going to be on this merry-go-round forever. That we're going to achieve so much in life, but we're not going to be connected with it. It's not going to feel good. It's going to think, yeah, well, I invested my time and energy, and I got this out of it. Of course. Like, it's just kind of an indifference, maybe. Yeah. But see, this will happen again and again and again and again. And over time, we'll start to wonder why we're not happy, why we're not feeling anything, why we're not excited when we win, why we're not excited when we succeed or we achieve one of our goals. And I think part of this is the Chariot card as well. That we don't know who exactly we're going to be when the armor comes off. When I am not doing this particular function, who am I underneath it all? The Queen of Cups is who's underneath that chariot. That's who's driving the chariot, but we're kind of nervous about taking off that armor. And really being honest about who we are underneath it all. And maybe there's part of us that feels like, oh, I can't be emotional about this because that's going to take away from my focus, or that's going to take away from my ability to function, and fix whatever these things are in life. So we almost feel it's a noble thing to be detached from our emotions, because that makes us more, level-headed, more rational, more in control, more clear-headed, right? But I think what we'll find is that we keep running into the same problems over and over and over again. It's like Spirit keeps giving you the same Five of Pentacles for you to fix, waiting for you to finally feel something about it. And then we can move on to whatever's next, I feel like that's what you're doing right now, okay? I feel like this is the big win for you, that instead of criticizing it, you're opening up and you're going to really feel how you feel about it. And that's going to allow you to say, okay, well, you know what? I don't have to keep running into this same problem and fixing it. It's like a Groundhog's Day. And it just goes around and around and around. So you're putting an end to this cycle by really allowing the water to flow. And I'm so happy we have this Queen of Cups here, right? Because that means that you're not doing that. That you're opening up your emotions and you're allowing yourself to feel however you feel about this particular thing. Whether you don't feel anything, whether you feel like you don't like it or you do like it, it doesn't matter, but you're feeling. And that's going to allow you to sort of be done with this. It's like we don't have to repeat this now. I've done it and I feel how I feel about it, and I don't need to go back in and do it again. Going back in and doing it again, at this point, it would feel weird, right? It's kind of like when you're playing a board game with your friends when you're a kid. And it's so fun, it's so exciting, and you're really into it, you're really feeling it. The game is over, and, you feel happy or you feel mad because you lost, or you feel happy and proud that you won the game, or whatever. You feel like a bond with your friends, and then the game is over. But then you just you put the pieces back on the board somewhere, and then you just pretend to play again. You spin the little spinner, and you move the little pieces. But that feeling's gone. It's not the same. You just think, well, I'm over it now. Come on, friends, let's go do something else now. It's like we're over it. And I think this is exactly the feeling. This is just kind of like, okay, I've allowed my emotional expression. I've been very honest and accepting about how I feel about this, and now I feel a release. Now I feel that there's a relief from this whatever this Five of Pentacles is. Because there's an emotional drive. The reason why you're doing this hard work, whatever it is, if it's something physical, fitness, if it's something financial, or if it's you're literally fixing something, there's an emotional reason behind it. There's an emotional drive, okay? And I think once we kind of feel, once we let the water in here to sort of lubricate the gears, I think we're going to be able to leave it behind, let it go. But then, right? Then what? Then who am I? Right? There's that question again. Well, that's what our Princess of Swords is. You're someone who's going to be asking the question, now what? You know, maybe this felt like a strong identity. It's like, well, this is what I do. This is my work. This is what I'm going to keep doing. And it's at least given me a sense of purpose. And now the Princess of Swords is saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I want now. Well, that's okay. You know, we have to clear the space in our souls in order to let that Ace of Wands in, that big idea. Yeah. That big impulse, that big fiery will that's going to grow in you and say, aha, I know what I want to do now. Because I feel like this is you're really making some success here. You're leveling up right here. This is a win, right? But it's just kind of like we can't relive this. You know, we need to be inspired. We need to feel how we feel about this, and we need the inspiration that comes with the Ace of Wands in order to get out of what is just going to be a repeat. It's like we can't get the same win again. It's not going to make it. It's not going to feel as good. You know, it's just going to be routine. And perhaps this is like, you know, this is the same thing that we keep doing it again and again and again. We're getting good at it, but we're not growing. It doesn't really feel like anything. It just feels like I'm showing up to work. I'm kicking the field goal again, and that's it. It's not really a big event anymore. But with the Ace of Wands now, I feel like we're asking ourselves, what do I need now? Now I'm free from this other thing. What am I inspired to do? So the Princess of Swords is asking that question. Who am I? Why am I here today? Okay. What is that is inspiring you now? What is this next really big idea for you? How are you moving on beyond this current project or work or endeavor or whatever it might be? I think you're getting recognition for what you're doing. And I think rather than saying, oh, no, it was terrible, no, thank you, I can't accept the rewards, and you don't want the trophy, you know, you're saying, no, I really didn't do a very good job, and I'm not happy with it, and all that stuff. I think you're this time around, you're going to take it. You're going to take that trophy, and you're going to say, darn right, I'm proud of this. And maybe it feels a little ego-based, and that's okay, right? Sometimes the ego needs that reinforcement to say, yeah, thank you. I know I'm great. I know I did a good job here. Maybe not use, be a little bit more subtle, but allow yourself to feel proud. Allow yourself to feel, yes, I did a good job, and people recognize that, and I feel that I contributed. Yeah, because then we're going to get out of this realm of needing to always fix this thing to achieve this goal. But gosh darn it, every time I achieve this, it doesn't hit. It doesn't do it. You know, this time around it will, because you're just going to open yourself up and let these emotions come. Maybe you really don't care. Maybe you're just happy it's over. Right? Maybe you're proud of yourself. Maybe you feel like, I feel successful. I feel like I've done something good in life. I feel like I'm a winner, you know? It's that self-esteem. That's really what the Ace of Wands is this ability to feel this fiery energy, feel like you're capable. You're getting your wand back, you know? I want to look at the mystery card. Maybe it'll be a 9 of Cups. 6 of Cups would be obviously beautiful, right? Perfect. It'd be the absolute icing on the cake here. But whatever it is, we will deal with it. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Let's see. 4 of Swords. At least you're giving your critical mind a break. Yeah. At least we are kind of, we're going to take the time out. This is kind of like give yourself a rest afterwards so that you can sit and think and feel. Maybe not think, right? Thinking and feeling, it's all tied up together. It's impossible to do one without the other. And so what you've got to do is you've got to be able to relax the mind enough to perceive how you're feeling. Sometimes the water is so agitated that we don't even know what we're feeling. And sometimes it feels like we're not feeling anything. You ever have that experience where you're just so in your head, in your left brain, that somebody would ask you, how are you feeling? You're saying, I'm not feeling anything. I'm all just focused, left brain, logical. I've cut my emotions off, right? And you may even have had people tell you that you're not in touch with your emotions. It doesn't mean you're not having them. It just means you're not in touch with them. We got to reach out and touch them, okay? And the Four of Swords is that kind of, we're calming down the mind. We're taking a break from all the self-criticism, all the analysis. We're taking a break from picking apart our last performance. And we're just going to say, okay, mind, quiet. And we're just going to breathe. We're going to relax. And we're just going to feel. We're going to let those emotions come up. And we don't have to label them. We just have to feel them. And maybe afterwards you could say, well, that was a lot of good feelings. Wow, like that? Yeah, I feel good. Or you don't. I don't like this. I don't want to do this again. Yeah, I think the Four of Swords is a pretty good confirmation card. It shows that we're asking the right questions, I guess, if we must frame it that way. We can sit down and try to ask ourselves how we feel about this. And just let the answer come out. Yeah. We're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Leo on Tuesday and Saturday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.